5, 4, 3, 2. We are Squawking Dead. We had technical difficulties. My computer ran out of memory. The one thing I forget to turn off sometimes is my wallpaper changer, which uses a shit ton of memory, and it happened to be changing wallpapers right as I was starting up the Instagram stream again. So without further ado, I rendered the last half of the video for your viewing enjoyment. That's you, Linda. Linda. Yeah, Linda. And so without further ado, I'm going to give you the last half of the podcast. And basically, we're right in the middle of the discussion where we're talking about where we came from and why we think we're black sheep and why our mothers looked really, really good after pregnancy. It makes us wonder if we were adopted. Funny story, and this is not in the video. My siblings are all gingers, okay? My little brother's 10 years younger than me. I have two younger sisters, one who's 1 year younger than me, and one that's 2 years younger than me. All of them are gingers. My dad's a ginger, and my mom changed her hair color because she just like me went gray, like right in her 20s, and so she changed her hair color to red, like this reddish kind of like amber, right? Anyway, so. Just to recap that, so I grew up one time, so like 5 years old, I was asking my mom, am I adopted? I don't look like anybody else. And she laughed so goddamn hard. She's like, you're just like me. It just, when you get to your 20s, you're going to look just like me. You're going to have gray hair that you're going to dye brown or red. And anyway, so without further ado, let me give you the last half of the episode. And shout out to Jay Shackstone. Thank you for tuning in on Periscope. Here we go. Here's the rest of the episode. Thank you very much for coming back, especially you, Linda. I just scheduled your video clips for retweet, and they'll be airing later on today. So without further ado, here's the rest of the episode. Thank you very much for tuning back in. Episode 81B for your enjoyment.
Well, thank God she didn't hear any of that.
That's good.
Who?
Yeah, she doesn't need to hear about her daughter's geek hole.
No. No.
Nobody does.
No.
Nobody does.
No parents need to know that.
Yeah.
But they know they exist.
Well, yeah.
I sure hope so.
Almost all
Not,
of
I
you
need to have a serious talk with
Yeah,
her.
right. How were you born? You popped out of my thigh.
I always bust my mom because there's like no pictures of her pregnant, so I just lie and say she's not my real mom.
Oh, damn.
Where's my real mother?
You know what? There's no pictures of my mom pregnant either.
Just always look good.
Now that I'm thinking about this,
You were just
I just showed up one day.
yeah. You were this little pea near like near my fupa.
You were
Like
delivered
right
by the stork.
Maybe cameras weren't invented yet when my mom was pregnant. I don't know.
No, I just say she's
here. The self portraits.
Yeah.
Oh.
They had to get the artist in to paint it.
Or like those old timey
Okay,
photos, like
Yeah.
with the powder.
Yes.
Now smile for the camera now.
Layers everywhere.
Under the cape. Oh gosh.
Where do we go from here?
Anyway,
Sorry.
So you have to clean your house, huh?
yeah.
She's prepping for the holidays.
Yeah, I don't even know what that's like, to be honest. Like, we have different versions of that, like holidays and stuff like Passover is like a major cleaning thing. You literally have to clean the house entirely, and then not even have anybody over to actually look at it. That's
Okay, so
'cause
imagine
everybody's doing that.
Passover, but with company.
Well, what's your cleaning? What is your situation, Carol? Because you usually have something every year, and it's
Well,
usually
this
yours,
year,
right?
Last year we went up to New York. We went back home and we kind of spent like maybe a week leading up to Christmas, and then came down here for Christmas, and then had New Year's down here. This year we're not going up to New York because my dad is coming to visit us the 26th. So it just didn't make any sense to go up to come back down like Christmas Day, like that would have just been too much. I was telling Dave, it's like I have my own little holiday annoyances. So
Oh, it's happening?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's
Okay,
happening.
okay.
So
Wow.
it's been a mad dash to the finish line. Like, work has been like insane. I had to go to Texas this week, and like I came back like yesterday just to get back in time before my mom went back up to New York and all that. So, okay, fine. So then my dad is coming the 26th, and I was like all looking forward to it. I haven't seen my dad in a while, and you know, he hasn't seen the kids. So I was like, okay, this will be cool. He's coming with his wife. I'm like, that's cool. You know, we have like a spare bedroom, so it's all good. And then yesterday, I get a message from him being like, oh yeah, you know, his wife's daughter, like, you know, she kind of like got a last minute ticket to like Florida, and she's going to stay with a friend for one night. And then like, you know, after that, you know, she might be our guest, haha. And I was like, no, haha, not funny. No. I was like,
That's so fucked up.
no. That is like a pet peeve. I do not do well with mooches,
Curveballs.
like freeloaders.
Mm-hmm.
No, like no. So basically, like I immediately was like, all right, how am I going to handle this? So I was like, I'm going to play dumb and be like, oh, so she's staying, you know, with a friend for that whole week,
A friend, right?
And right, and he was like, oh, I think so. And I was like, so how's she going to get from Fort Lauderdale to visit here? You know, it's 40 minutes away, right? And it was like, oh, you know, I think we'll rent a car and stuff. And, you know, I don't want to put you out. So, you know, maybe like, I don't know if we should look for a hotel. And I was like, look,
damn.
the offer still stands for you and your wife, because that's what we always discuss. Her daughter is a grown woman who decided last minute to get a ticket here. So there are plenty of great Airbnbs and hotels in the area. I'll help refer some to you. That's it. Like, I'm not like, and here's the thing that gets to me. Like, if you come to me and you say like, hey, would you mind, like, what do you think if this person comes over? Is that cool? Whatever. Cool. But don't slide it in there and think I'm just going to be like, sure, why doesn't she stay here? No.
Do you know this person? Like, have you met her?
Dude, no. Like, this is my thing. I'm like, I got a husband and 2 kids and a grown dog. Like, you see my household. I can't barely have an hour conversation without a child running into the room. So it's like, I can't take, like, random person, like, just sort of like, and my dad tries to, like, play it off like a joke. Like, it's like, oh, well, you know, don't worry. She doesn't eat much. I don't care if she doesn't eat much. Like, it's just,
That's not the issue.
That's not the issue.
You know, here's the thing. I know why you're laughing too. Like, I know why I'm laughing, because I get it.
Because yeah. And I have to laugh or else I'd cry.
Exactly.
So
Because it's just so fucking.
Yeah.
But then they act like, why are you being so uptight, right?
right. You know, it's like, what's the big deal? I'm like, dude, come on. Like.
And if you're not pitching a fit, like it might be your significant other too, and you're what the fuck?
Well, but that's the thing. It's like, it's not just like me. It's like, you know, this is a full household, you know, so I can't just be like, sure, the more the merrier. Come on over. But again, it's like, if I know with time, then it's like, all right, fine. You know, it's like, you know, you're going to have like X number of people coming over here, but not like, oh, this person decided to like tag along because they figured, oh, why not? I'm like, so when was anybody going to tell me?
Right, exactly. I'm your father.
Where's she going to sleep? Is she
what
going to
I'm
like
saying.
have
I'm
an air
like,
mattress on the
that's
floor
what-
of the room they're sleeping
And
in?
you know,
That's exactly it.
you know what's
Like,
going to end up
I'm like,
happening?
and where-
You know what's going to end up
What?
happening too?
What do you think is going to end up
like,
happening?
oh, it's Christmas. There's going to be food. There's going to be drinks, and be like, well, I guess it's time to go home.
I'll call the Uber for you.
I'm
I'll
too
get the lift.
tired,
I have the app.
though. I'm too drunk.
You can rest in the cab.
But the
Like, I've
Uber
done it
guy's
plenty
gonna
of times.
touch me in places.
Oh,
Don't worry. I have a good one that like I'll call personally. Like, it's fine.
Oh boy.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
But what if she? Whoa. Here's the move. This is the move, and I've seen this move done. And she's gonna end up like excusing herself from the table. She's going to the bathroom. She's going to the other room. She's gonna sleep on the couch, and then at that point, you're an asshole for like waking her up to go the fuck home, right? That's how they get you. Wait. If it happens, you need to call me right away,
I will.
it's so
and then take video.
I will. If that happens,
Then
I
I'll
will
put it
call
on the
you.
podcast. Blur her face out, obviously.
And it's really
Yeah.
funny because Eddie was like, you know, just he's so much more mellow than me, and he's like, look,
Right.
you know, he's like, you've
Much
already
more
made
mellow
your
than you.
point known of like, you know, how you feel about it. It's, you know, it's already clear. Just be prepared that things may not go exactly as planned.
No, they're already not going as planned.
They're already not going as planned.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So, but I mean, that's about it. I mean, like, we're not really hosting anybody for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day because my sister-in-law is. So we're just bringing food over there. And,
Oh,
you
okay.
know,
So it's not at your place. Okay.
no, it's not going to be at my place. So basically, we're just going to like, you know, we have our portion that we have to like bring, and you know, and that's it, which is cool. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I have like the gifts to wrap up, but to be honest, I don't really mind wrapping the gifts. I kind of find it relaxing,
Oh, you said that
especially
before.
after the. Well, yeah, like after everybody goes to sleep and the house is like silent, it's like the best because it's like I'll put on like some crap television that Meg appreciates. I know she does.
Can I please say it?
Yes,
Housewives in New Jersey.
absolutely, 100%. I told her I put on my Instagram story that I was watching it, and like she commented, and I told her I was like, when I watch the Real Housewives of New Jersey while I'm down here in Florida, it feels like a warm blanket of like
Like
love.
a cold blanket of hate.
I've actually been revisiting it lately. I am at the season 5 reunion right now.
Oh God! And it's just, and knowing everything that's going on with them in real time, watching all this, it's fascinating.
Did I ever tell you that
Are
I
these all the same women?
What?
I met Teresa?
Did you really? Stop it.
Okay, so obviously we all know I live at the shore.
Yes.
And they all have shore houses.
Yes.
2 years ago, I think, I was at a bar for my birthday, and the bar closed, so we have 24-hour diners here. So we went to some diner, and we're sitting, we're still drunk, we're eating. All of a sudden, I look up, I was like, oh my God, that's Teresa. Teresa just walked in the diner at 2 a.m. with a guy and a girl, and they sit right next to us.
No camera crew, right?
That's nuts.
No camera crew.
Okay.
She was just down here. It was summertime.
Yeah.
So we're all like, we kind of like snuck a couple pictures because it was like literally like right next to us.
Yeah.
So my drunk ass, as we're leaving, I get up and I say hi to her.
Uh-huh.
And my friend's like, it's her birthday. So she's like,
Yes.
That's hysterical.
So Jersey.
What happened?
That is the Jerseyest thing I've heard
and she
in a
like
while.
dragged me out of there.
That is awesome.
That is awesome.
So Teresa, happy birthday.
You have good
Yeah, like
friends.
so. See, there you have it.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
That's
I remember
awesome. I don't remember that. That's pretty awesome.
You
Like,
I drank. There's your answer.
There you go. See, that's way better. Like reality TV, like random. What is it? Like viewer that you saw. Like like I remember I was on a plane. And it was like at night. It was like late. It was like 11 o'clock, 11:30 or whatever. So everyone on the plane is tired. I'm tired. And in the row in front of me, there was this like loud, annoying kid. And even like the people in my row were like, who is this kid? It's 11:30 at night or whatever. Just really obnoxious. So finally we land. We get up because we want to get out. And we realized it was Honey Boo Boo and her mom.
Get the fuck out of
in
here.
front of us. And I recognized them, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like,
But she's like a
is it
kid.
them? Yeah, she was a kid, especially at that time.
But not like a whiny, like, toddler.
But they're just loud. They're just
Loud
loud.
talkers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I was like, I'm pretty sure. I was thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure it's them. And I realized it was when the guy next to me, like, it was so funny because it was all like professional and student stuff. I see him take out his like phone and he's like taking photos. I was like, so it is them. Cool.
Trying to be discreet.
Trying to be discreet. He's like.
And meanwhile, I don't even know what I'm more annoyed at too, right? Like, it's like one thing. So you could have been the guy to shut them up, but instead you're like, fucking fuck guy. Because then you could have been that guy on the news that was like, and one man tried to shut Honey Boo Boo up in the face with Vapo Rub.
No, we were all tired.
Rub
We
some
were all
paper
tired.
in the kid's
That kid
face.
geek hole. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Sorry.
I have an emergency at work. It's pretty serious, and I have to get out. So,
Oh shoot.
real quick, if you guys want to look it up, you can. We've had 4 shootings in the past 11 days, all gang-related, and it kind of happens around this time of year every year.
Really?
Just
Yeah.
like the jumpers at one point in the year.
We had the jumper 2 weeks ago, but he failed because it was really icy. He slipped, and he ended up smashing his face open instead of dying. So there's that.
Oh, boy.
So we just had a shooting happen, and it's pretty bad. So I just got a phone call. They're locking down the emergency department, so I gotta go.
Chris, be careful.
Yes, seriously.
I will. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you all. And if I don't talk to you, but I'm sure I will for the holidays and all that stuff. But everybody, Merry Christmas. Be safe, and I love you guys.
I love you
You
too.
too. We love you.
Talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take care of yourself.
I will.
If you get back, hit me up.
Yeah, I will. Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks again for my gifts.
You're welcome.
I'll text you tomorrow.
Yeah. Take care, bud.
My stepdad was top for years and years and years and years, so that just kind of strikes a little too close to home for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Maggie, what have you been working on lately that's been really exciting? Because I know you did the podcast with the free, was it the podcast?
Freelance Network podcast.
Freelance Network podcast. Thank you. It's hard to
One of my
remember.
best friends, they created a podcast that is entirely about content creators, whether you're a musician, filmmaker, do stupid shit like I do, whatever. They like interviewing people. Because I actually met Cassie. If you listen to my interview with her, Cassie and I met in college, so I actually got her a job with me, and then through that it kind of like evolved and got bigger and bigger. So they do this podcast at their college. It's great. We talked a little bit about Squawking Dead, talked a little bit about the interview I did with Chris and Cooper, talking about Merrimack, all that such, and then we're talking about like marketing and how I turned stuff that I would normally be doing anyway into content, which is kind of how Meg the Geek kind of evolved.
Emerged,
yeah. So then I just reposted my first video on YouTube in months.
Yeah, the Black Widow review, right?
Yeah.
Getting
I'm
ready for
getting
that.
back into the YouTube game and just trying to think of good content for 2020.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Any other cool projects?
I just got a shit ton of subscription boxes that I have to unload and do videos for.
Mm-hmm.
I got one that's entirely Avengers Endgame related.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be recording that in early January. I've yet to open it.
Okay, cool. That's cool.
So I'm being really good. I have 2 new videos coming out by the end of the year, and yeah.
Okay.
I'm on vacation until the 6th, but I'm going away for New Year's, so during like...
Where are you going for New Year's?
I'm going to Gettysburg to a convention.
Nice.
What convention?
It's called Pop Rock and Horror New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Or New Year's
Cool.
Evil.
Are you doing are you doing any video specials out of that? Like taking clips and stuff? Okay.
No, I'm drinking.
No. Maggie's on vacation.
Drinking is
On
swimming and eating.
vacation. Shoot.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you need that. You really do.
I'm not meeting any guests. I'm just hanging out with my friends
I'm
and
just being Meg.
just being Meg.
That's cool.
Meg the Geek is taking a break.
I'm just being me with a G. Yeah.
Yep. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and yeah, Happy New Year. But I'm sure I'll talk to you guys at some point soon.
Thank you, Meg,
Yeah.
and thank you for this awesome idea. Really.
Yeah, no problem.
It's great.
Yeah, this was fun.
I can't
This is a lot of fun.
I can't take all the credit for it because I kind of hijacked the idea from this group on Facebook that it's Comic-Con badge holders.
Yeah, I saw
They
that too.
started it, and I was like, oh, this is a good idea. So then I kind of tweaked it for us.
But you know what it is? It's like you see a good idea, and then you are the guy, you are the person. Like we could. I saw that same
I'm
post
the
too. I was
guy,
like,
clearly.
yeah. I'm like seriously. Like it didn't even cross my mind to even do that. But you suggested, and it was like, okay, that makes sense.
Genius.
That makes sense. So thank you for that.
Yeah, of course.
It's really great.
Seriously.
Glad everybody's enjoying their gifts.
Yes, and you have good luck. Good luck.
You know?
I hope all that stuff goes well, like the proposal. I'm not even this thing won't come out for another 2 days at least, so you've got that
Yeah.
long.
Just don't tag me in it so they won't watch it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll just go, hey Meg, on Slack, hey Meg, it's up. It's up, it's gonna be this day. Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Yeah, I doubt it's gonna happen, but
What, the proposal?
oh no, I doubt it's happening on Christmas.
No. Oh, okay. Well,
He doesn't seem the cliche type.
Watch, it'll be on Christmas, and he'll hide it in food.
yeah. Oh God. This ham is hard to cut. What's in here? Oh, it's a bonus. Throw that out. What? There's a diamond?
It'll be even easier to hide the ring and Big ZD.
There you go.
Ooh, can you imagine all the accidents? Ugh.
Oh.
Well, unless it's like a round and uncooked one. Looks like this big.
Yeah, we're Italian, so we just do Big ZD on Christmas.
Nice.
Sounds delicious, actually. But anyway, thank you, Meg, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm sure we'll see each other after
Happy
the New
Hanukkah.
Year. Yeah. And take care. It was really good to have you on.
Yeah, it's been
I
a
know.
Been a while.
time.
Yeah.
But we'll figure something out. When you
Yeah,
shrink your episodes down to more than 3 hours, I can maybe come back.
right. It's been an hour and a half. How did that happen?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, pre-show. Oh. Anyways, thank you. We'll see you soon.
I will see you guys soon. Happy holidays.
We love you.
I'm
Bye, Meg.
Bye.
Well, I think we're up to you, Rachel.
We don't do anything all that fun. We open presents here. Then we go to my mom's. We open presents there. We eat breakfast. Then we go to Saginaw to see my stepmom and my other brothers and my sister. And then we come home and we watch movies all night.
That sounds like a lot of... Is that all on Christmas Eve?
Nice.
That's all on Christmas Day.
Oh, okay, Christmas Day. Okay, gotcha. Hey, do you do anything for Christmas Eve at all?
We might go over to my mom's house and maybe.
Like have dinner or something?
Probably
Or... Okay.
Probably not.
Do you have any sort of... Even like with that kind of... Like, I mean, that's still a lot of things. Like,
Yeah.
you're still making an effort
Well-
going out to, you know...
Yeah. My
family.
mother-in-law's in Georgia right now. Otherwise, we'd have a third stop to make too. But this year she's down in Georgia right now, so we just have my family to see.
I see. But that sounds relaxing. Like no
It is.
no cleaning the house or
Right.
or dealing with party crashers.
I don't have to stress about anything really. I mean, all my stress comes before Christmas, like, presents and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But that's all out of the way.
It is. Yeah, I'm done with that. So I can just kind of kick back and eat all the food now.
Well, who makes the food? You guys order something? What's going on with that?
No, my mom will cook.
Okay.
Both my mom and my stepmom both cook.
That's cool. And you
And I'll probably help.
Okay. Oh, well, I might help. Is it
I might help.
Yeah. Do you not cook or something or like
No, I do. But by the time I get over there, my mom wakes up at like 4:00 in the morning and starts. Yeah, I'm not waking up that early. So by the time we get over there, actually my stepdad is usually he does Christmas breakfast.
Uh-huh.
Mom just did Thanksgiving, so Dad will do Christmas breakfast.
Is it an all-day affair? Like now I'm curious. See, because like I don't do
No.
this. So this is me. This is a Jew grilling a Christian, or like, or whatever.
No, my son will wake up super early Christmas morning.
Still?
It'll take him 3 minutes. Yeah, it'll take him 3 minutes to rip through all the presents.
But you're
and then
there, right?
I'll call my mom. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're up. We're here. I'm like, dude, I need coffee first. Just wait.
Right. I need the Christmas coffee.
100%.
I need my Christmas coffee. So I drink coffee. He opens presents. Then I text my mom and I'm like, yeah, we're done here. Y'all ready?
Like a zombie.
Yeah. And she's usually like, well, she'll either say yes or no. If she says no, we got to find something to do for a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's an all-day affair, though.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's fun, but I don't know. We don't do anything like extra special. We just have a lot of places to be that day.
But it is that by nature is pretty special, I think, to me.
Yeah.
It's a tradition of sorts. I mean, it sounds pretty routine.
Yes, it is definitely routine.
Well, then it's a tradition. Because
Yeah.
it's consistent.
Yeah, it is.
Well, what do you do, Carol? Is this Christmas Eve that was all happening, or the
Christmas Eve is like the bigger to do. Christmas Eve is like a bigger dinner. It was more so a big deal when we were in New York because we had a whole lot more family around. So Christmas Eve was always like this big gathering of relatives with like a bunch of food and all that kind of stuff. And then Christmas Day was like more low key, opening gifts and then maybe having like lunch at like another relative's house. But it was definitely more like low key, whereas Christmas Eve felt more formal, kind of, I guess.
like festive, celebratory?
I guess so, yeah. Whereas like Christmas Day was more like the
Cool down.
just, yeah, I guess.
like intimate, cool down.
Yeah, just more relaxed,
Right.
basically. I don't know if I would say that Christmas Eve here is necessarily as festive because it's just not that big of a group. You know what I mean? So it's
down in Florida.
yeah, because it's not like we have as much relatives. Like we're still doing Christmas Eve and Christmas Day at my sister-in-law's, but it's not like one is going to necessarily feel more formal than the other, I guess, because it's not like a huge group and it's like you see each other all the time anyway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or when you see people all the time, it's not like you feel like you got to put on airs, I guess. It's kind of like, yeah, I just saw you the other day.
Well,
so
is your dad going to be at both things?
No, my dad's coming the 26th, so he's coming after Christmas.
Oh, okay. That's
so
where
he's
I was
around.
confused.
He's coming. He'll be in town the 26th to, I want to say, what is it, January 2nd? It's like from like a week. I haven't seen my dad in 3 years.
Ah, shit.
So it's like I was really looking forward to just kind of hanging out with my dad.
Yeah.
It's like, and not like entertaining other people, where I just wanted to kind of like hang out with my dad and just, you know, shoot the shit and just kind of like just
be relaxed,
talk, you know?
Yeah.
Just be relaxed and not feel like I have to kind of like be mindful. Because if I'm around my dad, I'm just like hanging out with my dad. It's like, cool, you know, it's like, all right, we're going to hang out on the couch and like just talk and play around with the kids and the dog and like whatever, you know. It doesn't have to be something so organized where it's like, you know, now it's sort of like, okay, it becomes a bigger to-do where it's like, all right, you have to like entertain rather than just kind of like be relaxed, you know?
Yeah, my mom used to do that all the time.
Really?
And I never got it, and now, I mean, like, obviously, I mean, I get it now. I think it might even be just a guy thing, to be honest, because I always...
What do you mean, like not getting it?
Like not getting it, like, oh, no, you don't understand. I have to put out this and do that, and, you know, you don't get what goes into it. Because I did have to,
I think you're right, because I did have to bring it up to my dad, like, you know, kind of bummed, because I just wanted to, like, hang out with you or whatever, you know, it's like, that's it. Like, I just wanted to, you know, spend time with you. It's like, I didn't necessarily expect this, so it's kind of thrown me for a loop for what this visit was going to be, you know?
Right. I wanted this intimate, like, you know, relaxed, you know, not having to, like, be a hostess person.
Right.
You know, just be natural. Exactly. And now I can't be natural.
Right. Now I can't be natural. Now it's become like a more just formalized sort of thing where it's like, not that I can't be myself, because everybody who knows me knows I have no poker face at all. So I'm basically going to be rolling my eyes into the back of my head right in front of this people and be like...
You're going to knock yourself over, you're rolling them so hard.
I just want to get it like bowling eyeballs.
I'm the person who like, I always go back to the situation that happened like years ago when I was still up in New York. Like, we had an open office, you know, so you can see everything. You can stand up and like, obviously you can see everything, and sound travels and whatever. So my team, which was a really cool team, I got along with my team really well. We were having like this impromptu meeting, like around 11:15 or whatever, you know, so before lunch. So one of my old coworkers, who I'm still good friends with now, because he's a sweetheart, but he just talks. And so he just kept talking, and like, it was like noon and he was still going, and I'm thinking to myself, it is lunchtime and I'm like starving. And when I get hungry, I'm hungry.
I turn into a diva, like those sneakers commercials.
So I was just like, like in my head, I'm just like, oh my God. And then like I had my phone with me, and my other coworker on a different team, like I see a text from her, and I look at my phone, and she was like, you look so pissed off right now. Like, I'm over in the other area, and you look so irritated.
That's awesome.
Like, I'm hungry, and they won't shut up.
There's a vein that pops out. It's really gross.
Can we wrap this up? Like,
chop.
Yeah.
It's like one of those memes I've seen where it's like, this could have been an email. This meeting didn't have to exist.
You know, it's funny. So, like, if this was at my office and I'm just trying to like insert my boss into your situation, he would be going like this, just walking into the room going, "Hey, what are you guys not doing work? Get the fuck to work." It'd be like,
no, but at a certain point, I'm just like, we've discussed it. It's over. But yeah, no,
of course.
Basically, I have no poker face, so we'll see how it goes. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think on the positive side of like, you know, I'm just happy that he's coming. I haven't seen him in a while because like, you know, it's expensive for me to go see him where he is with like 2 kids, and like, you know, they each pay for a seat now. So it's not like when they were babies and it's like, you know, I didn't have to pay for their airfare. Right. And now it's like, you know, it ain't cheap, you know? Yeah. So.
And then, you know, your career, and then it's a lot of things.
It's just hard, you know, like, I mean, when it was just me, and honestly, and the other thing is that the airfare used to be a hell of a lot cheaper. Like, I mean, I remember when I used to go round trip to see him, and it would be like less than $300, and it was awesome. Like, for
it's
that,
just you.
It's like, yeah, but the thing is, like, now, even for just you, like, you probably are paying like definitely 400, maybe more.
To get to Florida,
you know,
is this
round trip.
Holiday rates? Because I still get like two.
No, this is just in general. No, just in general.
So I haven't paid more than $230 for a plane ticket.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, like, my dad lives in like the Dominican Republic now, so technically, because it's an international.
I thought he was in New York.
Yeah, okay.
No, for New York, no.
That's what I was thinking too.
No, New York, I will pay $150 round trip.
You got to fill in that blank, you know.
Yeah. When I went to New York in September, we paid like $150 round trip, $75 each way.
Damn.
I was like, sold, you know. But like even if it's like a 2-hour flight, just because it's international, now all of a sudden it's like at a premium. Like I'm in obviously South Florida, which a plane ride from here to the Bahamas is about like an hour, and it's like $250. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's an hour. Like you don't even like, you know, like it's nothing. Like I pay less to go up to New York, and it's like 3 hours, you know, but I guess just because it's technically an international flight, it automatically counts as whatever.
Yeah.
So like when it's just me, then it'd be one thing, but it's like, you know, $400 for an international flight times me, 2 kids, and like, dude, that's a lot of money.
Is there going to be like a language barrier too now with not with your dad because he speaks English, but like with his girlfriend and his.
Well, here's the other thing along those notes. I speak English and Spanish, so it's not that I don't.
But it's your kids.
But it's not even that. It's like
okay.
When I talk to my dad, like if I'm just talking to my dad comfortably, we're talking like this in English. But I feel like it would be rude to talk like in front of them because they don't necessarily speak English the same way. So it's like it wouldn't. So basically, you know what I'm saying? It's like all of a sudden now you're catering your conversation and everything, and it's almost like you have to keep the conversation to a really superficial, generic level in order to kind of like. To be able to include all parties.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And I know exactly what you're talking about too. Like, and I'm surprised you're even bringing that up because that is something often that's in my head, but like it's not something a lot of people talk about because not a lot of people have bilingual. Like I have a bilingual. I have a trilingual family. So
wow. Wait, how many? What languages? English and
Hebrew, and Arabic.
Wow. Yeah.
So I can, and you know what the fucked up part is and you probably identify this too. It's sometimes when you have to go into that other language and you haven't spoken in it for a little while, even if you are raised around it, your brain has to rev up to where your language capacity is able to catch up sophisticatedly wise with like proper Spanish, proper Arabic, or
right, yeah.
It goes away. Like you use it or lose it. It's really weird.
And because maybe it's not like a language that you're like as comfortable in, then that affects obviously the type of conversation you're going to have. Right. You know, you're not going to be just sort of like because it's not like in your comfort zone. So like, you know, it's like I said, it's like your conversation becomes like more superficial, generic, watered down because like you can't necessarily just chill out and be like, hey, so blah blah blah. You know?
Right. But she does speak English, just not very well. Is that the case?
Yeah. So it's like, but then the thing is, it's like, I feel like my dad and I have all these, you know, like inside jokes and like, you know what I mean? Like
I don't feel like you should have to dilute that down. I mean, especially when it comes to you and your dad, you shouldn't have to. I mean, you and your dad, that is a relationship that, you know what, anybody can listen. It doesn't matter. They don't need to know what you're saying. They don't need to understand it. That's just between you and your dad. And I don't think you should feel bad about that at all. I
don't think she does, but I think that you won't be able to help yourself.
Good.
Like it's gonna get locked down to where you're gonna play a little bit of both in the end.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's like I want to have that time with him, and it's like I don't get to have him very often. It's like, and I have this 1 week, you know. So it's like,
out of how long, right? Because you don't see him like for stretches at a time, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and he hasn't seen the kids since they were like toddlers because he came 3 years ago when we first moved down here, and he came, you know, and stayed with us. But, you know, that was like the last time, you know, so it's 3 years is a long time in the lifespan of a kid.
Yeah.
You know,
well, like in the early stages, especially.
Oh, yeah. You know, so like it's, you know, I mean, like obviously like with technology and everything like that, you know, we always keep in contact, and we're always talking, you know, over like texts and emails and Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp. But luckily, my dad is pretty like savvy with like, you know, the technology.
Your dad is like my mom, by the way. Like, he's your biggest fan. He's vocal.
My dad is. And that's the thing that kills me. It's like my dad's like my biggest fan. He's always been my biggest cheerleader, super supportive all the time, you know. So I'm just like, I want time with my dad. Like, I mean, I'm sorry if it sounds selfish, but it's like, I want time with my dad.
Selfish,
you know?
That's stupid.
I don't think it sounds selfish at all.
It's selfish, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
As I brought up plenty of times.
Yeah. It's justifiable.
Yeah, man.
Basically.
Yeah.
Justified.
Nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with wanting to love your dad.
Yeah.
I want my dad time.
Yeah. It's just been, it's that. So I'm just trying to kind of like.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
All of this stuff that you're talking about right now, this is up here. Once it happens, you're going to find places where in the conversation it's going to be all right. You maybe even want to get to know them a little bit better, you know, and then because you're a conversationer, you get into it. At that point, once you guys get talking and ripping, it's going to be okay. It's not what you wanted, but it's what you got, and you're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I will try. Like, I don't want to lose this opportunity. Like, I have to take advantage of this opportunity while I have it. So the other holiday thing is like with my brother, because my brother's still up in New York, and he's just kind of like there, you know, but it's not like he's entirely like pleased with like life up there and how things are going. And, you know, like he was working someplace, and like it seems like about a week ago, like unbeknownst to us, like we just found, I think we found out today that like, you know, his company like closed shop like a week and a half ago. So he lost his job, and so now he's on unemployment. And it's sort of like, shit,
so why doesn't he come down?
Like, that's exactly like what I told my mom. I was like, you know, why doesn't he just come down? And like, at the end of the day, my brother's single. He doesn't have any kids. I'm like, you have no commitment now. Like, you know, you don't have the job. Just come down here. Take a moment to just kind of take a breather, you know, take a step back, reassess. You know, me and Eddie have always said, it's like, you can always come down here.
Yeah, you got no ties.
Like,
just
like, you have no time. Just come.
Be with your sister,
you know?
yeah.
Because sometimes you need like time to like reset and get out of like your environment a little bit to sort of kind of figure out like what your next move is going to be. You know?
I know all about that.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like we've all gone through
been
like,
a while,
okay, I
yeah.
need to kind of figure out like what my next step is. So like for him, I feel like he's kind of like at that point. So I don't know, like, but I think like I'm going to try and reach out to him and just sort of be like, look, like seriously, just come down here. Don't worry about it.
And,
like just,
and you can get flights on Christmas Day or Eve.
There's tons of cheap flights. I've done it. Like, I mean, you know, just by changing like a day or something, you can get some really cheap flights, you know?
Yeah. And
especially when, like, you're bringing like, you know, you're not bringing like an entourage of luggage and you're just bringing like a book bag and a carry-on, like you're good, you know? Like,
well, even still, like that could also not solve, but also maybe soften the blow when it comes to your dad. Like just have him stay around for a little while and
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's
be like a little, you get a little brother time, you get a little dad time, so it's not so bad that you have to cater to this other person. Because now it's kind of worth it. Because it's kind of like, okay, I could still be presentation, Carol, but now it's worth it because my brother's here, my dad's here, so now I would have done it anyway, maybe.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right, we got something going. We're solving some problems on this holiday special, I think.
All right. See, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
thanks.
I hope so. Look at you. See, I saw you're like, I was like about to cry a few minutes ago, but now I'm all smiles again.
Oh God, I know. I was like in tears earlier. I was like,
I'm sorry.
It's stressful.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think I've kind of come to a point where it's like, because Eddie told me, he's like, look, you pretty much know what you're doing. It's like you're gonna tell your dad, like, you know, how you feel. You're gonna make the best use of the time when he's here, and tell your brother to just come down here.
Yeah.
You know, just tell him again, you know, don't worry about it. It's not a burden. Just you're
doing me a favor. You should do it like that.
You're doing me.
Honestly,
I know you're honest. I don't know. My brother's always kind of done his own thing, and you know, which is fine. But I feel like kind of lately he's just been more and more kind of kept to himself. And my mom's been here, and, you know, my sister, you know, she's married, she does her own thing, and, you know, I'm obviously here, but, you know, like, I feel like, you know, things haven't really, you know, evolved the way that he's wanted it to.
In his life,
you know,
his
like
personal life?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just in general, you know, in terms of work and just in general. Which is why I say that now is maybe a good opportunity to kind of take a step back and reassess and see, like, okay, so where do I go from here?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, yeah, my brother's in that situation kind of too. I mean, he's starting to pick up his pieces, but the point is, it's just nice to kind of have your brother, like if I was him, but it's just nice to have your big sister around and like just
because sometimes you just need. Sometimes, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like sometimes you just need the presence of like somebody who can cheer you up, you know, because my brother and I have always had like a similar sense of humor to the point that I think that we always used to annoy my sister in that way. Like we would just have, my brother and I would both have a very stupid sense of humor.
Yeah.
And like we would laugh about things and my sister would be like, stop it, you know, like, and that was just kind of like the dynamic, you know. Like
I'm laughing because I am your sister, and yet I'm doing a podcast with you, and I laugh about the stupid things. I mean, I'm probably more stupid than you when it comes to my humor, which is odd.
No, we would just have like a very silly kind of like sense of humor. So like sometimes you need like the company of like, you know, whether it's like a brother or sister or cousin or whoever it is that can just sort of like, you know, cheer you up, like, and, you know, even though, you know, there may be like crap going on, it's like, you know, this doesn't feel like the load doesn't feel as heavy when you've got somebody to kind of lighten you up a little bit, you know,
because it shows
whereas,
that life
like,
goes
if you're just
on.
by yourself, right? Whereas if you're just by yourself, like, and you know, like you're just kind of like in an apartment, you know, looking to figure out your next step. It's like all you've got is time to think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is the worst.
Which is almost like Blinders, too, by the way. Because if that's
like,
all you're thinking about, you don't think of a way out.
All you're doing, right, you're just sitting there, like, you know, just thinking, and you just have nothing but time. And that's always, to me, that's the worst, you know? Yeah. You need something to kind of, like, you know, distract you a little bit. So, I don't know. For me, it's like I wish that he would just kind of like take us up on it, come on down, hang out, and just, you know, relax for a little bit.
I think you'll do a good job of convincing him to come down. I think it'll happen.
So.
He needs to,
I hope so.
You need to give him, like, you need to make it about you, and he'll be down.
Like, you're right. I need to make it seem like, you know.
It's not for him, it's for you.
Exactly. Do me the solid and come down here. Because I need
say hi to Dad. You know, you need to talk to your dad.
Yeah.
Maybe he can give you some sage advice. Because your dad's a pretty jovial fella anyway.
He is. Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's very positive.
Very positive.
Very different than me.
Big cheerleader.
That's okay.
Nah, not that much different.
No, well, I'm far more cynical.
Yeah, well, that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
I'm the guy who laughs like a maniac.
It's like, I watch post-apocalyptic shows.
Yeah.
And
I'm very cynical about what she's doing now, and I'll start laughing, and then here we are.
I remember like 3 years ago when my dad was here, like I think we were hanging out one day in the living room and he was like flipping on the channels, and you know, during the holiday time it's all old marathons of stuff a lot of the time, you know, because there's no new programming.
Twilight
really.
Zone marathons, Star Trek.
Yeah.
My favorite things in the world.
My dad was the one who got me into Twilight Zone. My dad actually was the one who got me into most of the pop culture stuff that I like, because my dad was a relatively young parent, so he was still very much into, you know, interest. So he like had a big music collection, so all the classic rock, it's like learned from him, and like all the, you know, a lot of the TV shows and, you know, movies and sports, you know, that was all, you know, from him. But it was funny because my dad actually used to be a big, from what I heard at least, used to be a big horror fan.
Oh.
And then I guess like he was kind of like tapped out and was like, you know, I'm done, I'm over it. Like, you know, and it was funny because he was staying with me 3 years ago, and there were marathons on, and there happened to be a marathon of The Walking Dead on. And I mentioned to my dad, I was like, oh, I love this show. You know, I watch the show like all the time or whatever. And I think I went to the bedroom to take care of something with the kids or something, and I came back out and he was like, the show is really violent. And
I was expecting something different.
I was like, yes. I mean, it is, but there's a greater storyline to it.
Yeah. Well, what season was it up to, too? It does depend.
Oh, God, I think it was Terminus, actually.
Oh, well, there we are. That was pretty fucked up right there.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I think they were at Terminus.
Tainted.
The road to Terminus.
Oh my God.
I was like, yeah, this show's great, Dad.
I promise you, it was really good. That was a bit of a weird moment in time.
Yeah.
It's definitely different, for sure. Yeah.
It was definitely different.
What, you didn't notice, what's her name? The actress from Star Trek was the woman in Terminus.
Snake with Martin Green?
No.
Oh, the other
one who was
lady.
at the barbecue
Yeah.
grill. She was in the first season of Star Trek The Next Generation. Lieutenant. She got killed off in the first season. But they brought her back in the latter episode down the line for a episode. Your dad probably did see her, did not recognize her.
That's pretty funny and ironic.
It's a year later, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of funny. I think you're going to be fine, honestly. You get the ball rolling, and it's just going to be like, what was I worried about? I mean, I would have preferred...
I feel like that's usually how it goes.
Yeah, it's like with everything, you know?
Yeah.
This podcast, like, to be honest, I still get that little thing in my stomach every time it's easier when we're doing it like this because there's no live pressure. But I still get that, and I have. It's the same thing. Like, what am I cutting out? I'm not cutting out much. All it is that it's not happening at the moment, you know. So, you know, I mean, like, if people see it at the moment, then fine. But it's not. What I'm cutting out is none of this. I'm cutting out anyway, so I should be nervous, but I'm not as nervous. But I still get stage fright when I perform, when it comes to music, singing, songwriting. I mean, I haven't done it in a while, but like I every single time, even when I was in the thick of it, like if I was going on a 3-night in a row stint, all 3 nights I'd have that, I wouldn't feel comfortable when I start, but then I get into it and I'm fine. You know, it's like, and then I'm actually even better than fine because like, okay, no turning back now. Let's give them everything. You know, it's like, you just bet.
I think that feeling reminds you that it's still important to you.
Yeah, for sure.
That is a very good point, actually, because the moment where you stop caring, I mean, obviously, you know, you stop caring, but if you still feel that twinge of like nerves, obviously, like it matters. It
matters.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, then again, I always get like this. I was that kid, and I think we may have spoken about this, but stop me if I have. I was that kid, like. In like grade school, kindergarten, first grade, all the way up to like 5th grade, where like first day of school, I am sick as a dog. I am so anxious. I'm curling it up in a ball, like holding this stomach ache, this physical stomach ache. And I thought it was illness. And like as an adult, I'm like, oh wait, shit, I had anxiety. What? What is that? I didn't know that. I really didn't know that until like recently. I didn't think about it, and I'm like thinking about like when I was a kid. What happened? Why was I getting all these stomach aches exactly the first day of school? Did I eat something? No, it's anxiety, bro. Physical manifestation.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has anxiety, but some people can deal with it and others can't.
It's just
or deal with it better than others.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody has anxiety. If somebody's like, I suffer from anxiety. Me too, bro.
Or depression. Or
I just handle it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. We just process it differently.
I think it's just. I think the reason why it was so shocking is because it was so different than anything I've ever been used to. Is that I thought it was me actually genuinely getting sick because I couldn't identify what that was. Like I didn't want it. Like there was a point where I remember this is like 5th grade. This is the last time I had it, but it was still there. I remember 5th grade. I was like, I know this is going to happen. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I want to walk into school and be totally fine. Had it anyway. Just had the stomach ache. So we sat in the car. Man. She's petting my head, like in the back seat. She's like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And like maybe 1 or 2 periods go by. Like 2 whole periods, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it is. And I'd be like, Mom, I think I could do it, Mom. I think I can do it. And then I got out. We went into school. And we were fine. And years later, obviously like 20 years later, like I write a song and the there's this part, this is like bridge, where it's like, the song is actually called Abuse, but there's this, everybody gets this feeling like, no matter what it is, like, I hate feeling so weak, I hate feeling so helpless, you know, and I brought this up in that one of these episodes, and I put the song in there, but it's this part of you that's like, I'm just so tired of feeling this way. Can I not feel this way for one day? Can I get a break? Can I get a break from this feeling? That's exactly what it is. It's like there's a part of you there's this one party that just wants to be able to take control of it, and then you have to default and like be subservient to this other part of you that's like, just accept it. It's gonna happen. Let it ride. This is not who you are, but this is who you are in the moment. This is what's happening to you in the moment, and you just gotta get through it. You will get through it. You know, and so it's the dichotomy of those two parts of you that's like, can we just move on? Can we get over this thing? And it's this alien thing. Like, you grow up saying, fire burns, don't touch fire. There you go. But like, this thing, it just comes out of nowhere, and it almost feels alien to you, and you just can't reconcile with it. But you'll be fine. That's the point of that.
I find distraction works for me.
Yeah.
If I can totally focus on something else, then my anxiety goes on the back burner, and I'm focused on something else.
I think that's why I don't get excited for
it's there, but it's just in the background.
Yeah. Do you remember, like, one of you guys told me, like, aren't you really excited for these conventions? Do you know what I mean? Like all the things that we were doing in Walker Stalker, New York Comic Con, blah, blah, blah. And I flat out would tell either you or somebody else, I'd be like, you know what? I'm not thinking about it. It's going to happen. I'm going to get really excited, nervous, anxious at the time, and I'm going to love it. I'm going to be there in the moment. But beforehand, I'm like, it's just better if I focus on what's going on now, and I'll deal with all that later, because I know that's coming. That's in the slot. That's the Tetris block that's coming, like down the line. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, it's best not to think about it.
I'm like that too. I don't get excited about things ahead of time. I get excited like in the moment when it's happening.
Yeah.
I don't like to, I don't know, I guess I've just, and this is kind of sad, but I've been disappointed too much, right? Like, I get excited for something and then it doesn't happen. It could be a big thing, it could be a little thing, it doesn't even matter. But when you have that excited feeling and then you have a letdown, so I just don't anymore. I'm like, I'll get excited when it happens.
Mine is that it does happen.
Just where I'm at in life.
Mine is that it does happen. And you know those feelings of being
exciting thing.
Yeah, like that I will get overwhelmed in here prior to.
Too much.
Yeah. So I don't. That's it. I just let it happen.
I just don't get excited.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has.
My mom's the same way.
Yeah.
Yep. We're not. Neither one of us are. We get excited in the moment.
Right.
Like, I'm not like, ooh, I'm gonna do this, later. I'm like, that's coming up.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
Yeah. I got this nail appointment right now. I gotta do these nails. I gotta just put this bitch in a tanning bed.
That's actually a perfect example.
Right?
Like, before an appointment comes in for a nail appointment, like, I'm actually a little bit nervous. I'm like, all right, what are we going to do? Does she want me to do something that I can't do? Am I going to have to talk her out of something?
Game face.
But then once they're there and we get going and I'm like seeing what I want come together, and then I get excited. People laugh at me during the appointments because I will squeal and giggle about my artwork on their nails.
That's so funny.
That's like Carol.
But I get excited.
It's like Carol when she does an interview. Like, it's like all of a sudden a switch turned on. It's like, what the fuck is going on? It's like she's a beautiful mind, right? It's like
funny.
all the formulas are just clicking. It's just clicking
like
all
memes.
of it. Yeah.
Like,
Yep, and when it all clicks into place, you're just like,
and you're in the zone.
Yes,
you're in a zone. That's exactly it. You're in a zone.
Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I'm to a disturbing degree. You know what? It's fun. I should bring this up because this will segue into what I've been doing this week. I was in the casino until about 6 in the morning. Thursday morning, technically. We had our company party. We had our company party a few hours ago, and we wrapped up at about, I think, 11 midnight, something like that. And we had it at this rooftop. I was in Florida. Sorry, Carol, I didn't call you.
I was in Texas.
But you were in Texas, so it didn't matter. So we were in South Beach, and I hadn't been in South Beach in years. And the party was held at this Escape the Room place, but it has a rooftop.
Okay.
And I made the joke like, oh, do we have to escape the room to eat? Is that what's going on? My boss is a fucking maniac. Anyway, no, we didn't. But like, it was a cool idea, and thus proving that he's a maniac. And it was a rooftop. They had a big speaker. They played. Actually, I was surprised at his music selection. Really good. We were partnering with this business that does modeling casting, and we're developing an app for them. And so they came in, they partied with us, and they put models as the hostess people, and so that was kind of cool. I got to talk to them about the Georgia film industry, and it was kind of cool. We just kept going, talking about background actors and body doubles, which is cool. They get paid a lot more than background actors and stand-ins. But let me just tell you that, like thousands instead of hundreds per episode.
Wow.
If you're that good looking, I mean, seriously.
Yeah, there you have it.
But if you're a stand-in, then you don't really see their face because you're supposed to be somebody else.
Exactly. So
you just have to have the right body type.
Yeah, and the right, just that specific look or close to, right? So, like this one looked like a very young Cameron Diaz. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here? And that was the one I ended up talking to, obviously. But besides the point, so we get to the casino later because obviously we continue the party. We have to continue the party. So we're me and this girl. No, I'm kidding. I'm married. What? No, I forgot. So we're at the bar. We're drinking, etc. And then like obviously people start. You know what this is. People just start dispersing slowly into the casino, never to be seen again. And so me and my colleague John and this other ex-colleague, so we invited her down. We have this cool relationship. When she left, she went to a client who she brought to us for tech services. So like we had this really good working relationship. We flew her down, and just so she could party with us. So all they're doing is watching me play penny slots, and I lost like $350, and I was a maniac laughing about it the whole time. He's like, "Oh my god, this is it's like a horror show," but he can't stop laughing. It's like I keep going. Well, there goes another 20. Let's do it again. And then like, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, I want to see where this goes." But we hit this. Talk about a beautiful mind. I found the system and I broke it. I broke the wheel. I put in like $100 bill, whoosh, like that. And all of a sudden, I just kept hitting it. I had to hit this jackpot. I hit that jackpot. Same machine, hit that jackpot. By 6 a.m, I won it all back.
Wow.
I recouped my losses. And so I was just like the beautiful mind. And I get them involved too. So like every time they have this free spin mode where you have to match, like it's like a grid and you have to flip over the question mark and match like how many free spins you can get, like 3. And then, so I'd be like, every time I hit it, I'd give them high fives, like, yeah, we did it. And like, okay, you pick first, and then you pick second, and then I pick third. 20 times 3, yeah, 20 free spins. And then, it's a fun time. It's a fun time watching this maniac lose money. But I was in the zone, man. I was in the zone. And thank God that I was. My fucking God. Try explaining that to your wife. Yeah, we lost whatever future mortgage we had on a new home that we would have never gotten because we live in Brooklyn, New York, the most expensive city in the world.
Seriously.
Oh, there's a window into my soul right there. Anyway, so segueing from that.
For the holidays, I will be having Christmas Eve here, and then we are headed to my mom's on Christmas Day.
My holiday plans, and I alluded to this a couple of episodes ago, is Trashy Christmas. Trashy Christmas is we pick 1, maybe 2 fast food joints, but the worst of the worst. Like, it's not McDonald's this year, but it's Papa John's. We did Domino's.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
That's delicious.
So
that's still exactly delicious. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but every once in a while, right? Like once a year, twice a year tops.
No, listen. When I used to go to college in Philadelphia,
you're not in college anymore.
It doesn't matter. It was delicious. It was delicious. They have the little peppers and they have this really good breadsticks with the garlic sauce. Like, it's amazing.
But what's great about it is there's two factors to this. Is like, okay, we're adults, right? And so we don't let ourselves do that as much. Not you, Rachel, but Carol and I are adults. I'm kidding. No, we're adults, and like we don't. We make salads like a couple times a week. I mean, I hope.
Yes,
Anyway.
okay.
Is that the
Yeah.
qualification of being an adult?
I was gonna say I have a job.
I'm revving up, you know.
Mhm.
I barely eat meat in the house anymore. We're like doing plant-based foods, and every now and again we'll do a roast chicken. Relax, vegans, okay? And so, like once a month, it's like we've been eating less meat. You do adulty things. You do.
That's not adulty. That's just very evolved. You're very evolved. You're more evolved than me because we eat. You know, we eat what we like here. Like, you know, it could be rice, it could be meat, it could be beans, it could be chicken.
But do you make
it?
it?
Shrimp. Yeah,
You
we
make it, but you don't order it from Popeyes on a whim. That's
No,
what I mean.
no.
You
No,
seeing?
no, it's more regimented because part of it is just a money thing, you know?
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, okay, Friday is like pizza day. So it's like Friday, every Friday, that's, you know, that's what we have. And it's like, okay, go to the local spot and you get a pie or whatever. And weekends could be either or. It could be that we go out to eat. It could be not, you know, but Monday through
Right.
Thursday is usually like food.
We make it at home. It's
Right.
like a
Right.
normal family. Well,
Right.
I'm saying that, and I know that there are families that are like, I order this from Popeyes, then I order that from KFC, and I order that from Papa
Yeah,
John's.
sure. Yeah.
But I'm gonna just roll the dice on this and say most families at least know that it's probably more economical, a better idea health-wise to make, you know, to just make something at least twice or three times a week, you know.
Sure.
Right. Just because it's like, just on the economical side, just on the like health side, it's like, okay, we should be doing that at least. That's all. That's the minimum we should be, even though we're not. We know that we should, but we're not. That's the minimum. But we do. And so every year we indulge ourselves with like things that we wouldn't even get on a whim. Like, so last year we did Domino's. We live in the city of pizza. Why would you eat at Domino's? That's why we did it. That's trashy Christmas. This year we're doing, guess what? Papa John's. Why? It's a
Because you're in
Midwest.
the city of pizza.
Yes.
And like, I know
You're
my
eating
sister gives me so
Midwestern.
much shit.
You're eating
I
Midwestern
know.
pizza.
I know. My sister gives me so much shit about that, but I don't care. It's good.
Well, you don't live in you know, you don't live in New York anymore.
Right.
The pizza in Florida is better than it has been in a long time
It is. It's not bad.
because
But
all the
it's
New Yorkers are going
definitely-
down to Florida.
I know. They're bringing it. It is true. It's basically run by like transplanted New Yorkers, like the good pizzerias.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
basically it.
Exactly. So, but then again, you're going to those pizzerias. You're not going
Yes.
to Papa John's.
No, you're right.
not
I'm
going
not-
to.
you're right.
So,
You're right.
Right?
True.
so that's
True.
and that's what makes it funny. Like you're in the city of pizza. You're going to Papa John's. What the fuck? But that's the funny
Right.
part. Funny and fun part. The second half of that is that my wife knows nothing of this world. Nothing. She doesn't know. She hasn't watched. Maybe. I don't know. 100th of the shows most people have watched. So I'll introduce her to such and such a show. Like we're watching Perfect Strangers for the first time. Like we're watching every episode of the Perfect Strangers. It's one of my favorite shows growing up. We watched it as a family on Friday nights.
But let me ask you something though. Do you feel like part of it was like the age that we grew up in? Because like I know for me, and we're similar, close in age. Like New York in the 80s was like crack central, prostitution, just kind of like crack vials on the street. Like my parents didn't let me out of the house for jack. Like that was not happening. It was like escorted to school and back, and that was it. So I watched a ton
Of TV, yeah.
of TV, a ton of sitcoms, which I loved because it was in sharp contrast to all the shit that was going on outside. It was like, wow, this is awesome. Look at this, you know?
Right.
And I listened to a ton of music. I would like have my headphones plugged into like what stereo system it was that we
The
had,
Iowa
you know?
boombox.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so it's like I would just
CD
kind of sit,
changer.
hang around. Yeah, exactly. Like, ooh, 5 discs.
100 discs.
You know, like, yeah, well, that's fancy. And I read a ton of books because it's like I was inside all the time, you know? So I feel like that's part of it.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. I forgot. It's been a busy week. My sister had a baby boy last week.
Aww. Oh, congratulations to her.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm glad that we got to connect with you guys. share our stories. I don't know how much of the stories I'm going to keep in. However, I want to say happy holidays to you, all of them. The winter solstice, which is tonight. We got Kwanzaa. I don't know when that is. Hanukkah starts Sunday night.
Christmas Eve is Tuesday.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'll be having Papa John's and maybe some, the breadsticks and some really just kind of Christmas movies. That's the second part of Trashy Christmas. Is like,
so
like we watched Die Hard last year, Home Alone.
Thank you.
We
Okay,
even
I was just gonna say
we're gonna be watching Ghostbusters 2 this year.
Yep.
For sure. And then we're gonna figure it out along the way. Sometimes they pop into Twilight Zone episodes, and so I hope with whatever you guys decide to do, you do it with loved ones, and you do it with love in your heart, and giving, and thanks, and gratitude, and because that's what they're feeling towards you. Your friends around you want you to feel their love. Accept it, okay? And they want you to succeed. So,
right.
Try succeeding. Come on, why are you a failure? So. They want you to succeed. They love it when you succeed. And now turn it around to yourself. And there are a bunch of people rooting in our corner. They want us to succeed as a podcast. And so thank you for always finding your way of letting us know that. And we love you.
Thank you.
And happy holidays.
You too, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.